That's a really great point to bring up about the Saw series thus far. There is no animal cruelty.
Yes, there's none. I don't think there's like no animals at all yet.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody has fish later, but there's no cruelty to them. They're just in a fish tank, so like it's just a fish.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah,
We were
it's
just
all.
talking off mic about
Yeah.
animal cruelty in the horror genre, especially in books. I find it's a lot more common in books because you can actually like get
Write
away
it.
with it.
Yeah, like write it and get away with it. No animals are actually harmed. But like
Yeah.
some of us can't handle that, so it doesn't mean it's like okay to like be like, oh, I'm so hardcore. What can make this book even more crazy? Kill an animal. Like,
Yeah.
just don't do it for fun. Like, only do it, I feel like, if it's part of the plot.
Yeah,
It's
so let's
awkward.
let's remember that not even John Kramer would hurt an animal because
Absolutely not.
animals do nothing wrong.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Exactly, yeah.
welcome to the Real Horror Show podcast, a horror movie review podcast where we review horror movies from Netflix, Hulu, Shudder, and everything in between. I'm your host, Sam Odie.
And I'm your co-host of Stormy Skies.
Welcome to our podcast. Today, we will be reviewing Saw 4, which is the fourth installment of the Saw franchise. It is once again directed by Darren Lynn Bousman from a screenplay by Patrick Melton and Marcus Dunstan, and a story by Melton, Dunstan, and Thomas Fenton. Wrong cab. uh, and this is how we like to break it down: characters and acting, story and writing, and then lastly, production. And then we like to talk about the real horrors this movie addresses. Sometimes they're serious, and sometimes we like to have a little bit of goofy fun. That being said, we are a horror movie podcast, so here is a general trigger warning. We talk about death, blood, guts, and other unsavory topics that might not be suitable for everyone, although we do try to do so with sensitivity. Listeners' discretion is advised. Movies are then rated on a scale of what the fuck did I just watch, which means the movie has no redeeming qualities, meh, which means it's okay, and then ah yeah, that fucked me up, which is what all horror should strive to be. So let's get started. And you can tell this is the first Saw movie not written by Leigh Whannel.
Yes, yes, you can.
Like,
Yeah.
for all the faults and issues I had with Saw 3, just that
Uh,
Jigsaw's death was very underwhelming because who the fuck is Jeff? Um, this
Still a
one,
nobody.
this one is just a mess. It's been a week since I've watched it, and granted, I haven't really like tried to piece together the timeline, like I've said.
Yeah,
It just
no problem.
it doesn't make sense, and I'm very confused. And
Yeah, it's
again, who the fuck is
it's Jeff.
not Jeff,
Jeff. Okay.
Rig. Who the fuck is Rig?
Rig, yeah, he is, a SWAT officer, and he was in 2 and 3. He worked with Eric
Okay.
Matthews, and
Okay.
he worked with that woman, Carrie.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, he's their bud. They're just work
Okay.
friends.
Okay.
Why he's
uh,
getting tested, I do not know. Just
no,
for fucking shits and gigs.
I'm confused by the tests in this. I'm confused by the timeline. And you told me over text that it's just going to get worse from here, and I don't see how.
It might a little bit because like it will just get worse because it'll keep doing this, and you'll be
Okay.
like, you'll watch and you'll be like, okay, is this in the past? Is this all
Mm-hmm.
happening at the same time again? Is this in the future? But John Kramer's alive, so that means like he's alive again, but like it's when he was alive, but he's dead. So it's yeah.
So, and you know what? Saw 11, because they have confirmed that Saw 11 is happening, that's going to
Oh,
make things so much worse.
I
Because
know.
I feel like since the doctor lady in Saw 10 survived, they're going to try and do like another midquel. And I just don't fucking get how they're going to do another midquel. I mean, I
I
guess they could
know.
explain how Mark Hoffman became Jigsaw's underling in a more
Ooh.
significant way. But still, like honestly, between Saws 1 and 4, since 4 apparently takes place at the same time as 3,
Right.
there's not a lot of time for Jigsaw to exact revenge. Like what he's in Saw 2, he's like he set up this elaborate house trap while being interrogated, and then he's immediately like on his deathbed in Saw 3. So where are we gonna fit Saw 11 in?
I know. Maybe there will be more stuff about Mark Hoffman. Also, there could be more stuff about how he works with Lawrence Gordon, the surgeon, a little bit. But like you're right, like what else is there? There's literally everything. Like we have no more time left with Jigsaw's life. You know,
Yeah.
God, like
Like
we
it's a
really
very
don't. Yeah.
when you try and do midquels or pre-sequels,
Yeah.
I guess that's the best way to describe
Yeah, a
Saw 10
pre-sequel.
is that it's the pre-sequel
It's a
to 2.
pre-sequel. Yeah.
Shout out Borderlands. I
Hell
think the
yeah.
movie's not going to be great.
I don't care what you say.
I know you're excited, but
It
listen, I
won't be great because it's not the video game.
exactly. The only thing that could save it for me
Uh-huh.
is Eli Roth self-casting as Handsome Jack in the mid-credit scene.
You think that Eli Roth would be handsome Jack?
I think he would be a really good Handsome Jack.
He would need to have one blue color contact and one green color contact.
He could do that. They put Kate Blanchett in a wig and they're trying to convince me she's Lilith, like, which I think it's
Yeah.
great that Eli Roth cast two 50 to 60-year-old women in these action roles. However, Lilith and Roland are a couple.
They
Are
are
you
a
fucking
couple.
telling me? Are you fucking telling me that Kate Blanchett and Kevin Hart are going to have any kind of chemistry on that screen?
I was thinking a lot about that myself. I didn't know that you liked Borderlands
I
at
did.
all. So this is
I like Borderlands a
interesting.
lot. We have not played 3 yet because my computer cannot run 3.
Oh, well, I guess your computer sucks. I'm just kidding. I'm
It
just
does.
kidding.
No, it does.
Kidding, so.
Yeah, but no, 2 David and I played 2 while I was living in Alexandria and I really like it. I've been wanting to
No
play it again.
shit,
Yeah.
Sam. Well,
And
can't we? I would love you to play 3 so we can play
yeah.
crossplay. We could play it all together if you want. That's my
That would be
favorite
so
game.
exciting. I'll get David on the upgrade.
Yeah. Get him on that upgrade so you can run it because you're gonna love that engine, girl. It's so
Yeah,
nice.
because
Anyway,
I need an updated computer because Back for Blood is also out and my computer can't run that and I love
I
Left
saw
4
that.
Dead so much.
Do you? Luke likes that too.
Yeah.
Is that the game where the guy's like, I'm lost. Can you help me?
Probably. That sounds accurate.
They say grabbing pills. Does he say grabbing
Yes.
pills? Okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay, wonderful. I only play Borderlands. I'm so sorry. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Anyway, the Borderlands casting is so fucking off the wall to me. And
It is.
like, I think the costuming looks really good. I think it's going to be a fun movie. And I know everybody's pumped about Jack Black as Claptrap, but I feel very icky about that because Claptrap has a voice actor
I
who's
agree.
voiced him in everything else. And it's on top of like how voice actors in general are treated in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And how after the fucking actors strike,
Yeah.
they come out with this announcement that they're going to be working with this AI company to do like AI voice generation to replace voice actors. So it's just
Unbelievable.
like I want to be excited about it and I think it like overall looks like it's going to be fun. There's just so many like what the fuck are they thinking and where's Mordecai and Brick?
I know a lot of people are saying where's Mordecai and Brick and like I don't know. They're just not there right now. We've got, but like, I'm pretty glad that we have a psycho as a main character with Krieg. He looks incredible because I think psychos are just damn fine.
Yeah. And I think that was a
watching.
super weird choice. Like, I kind of get it if they're bringing Tiny Tina in as a main character because there's that fan theory or it's hinted at the games that Krieg is Tina's father. So that's probably going to be a plot line.
What?
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it's hinted, it's like implied in the games, or it's just a fan theory that Krieg is Tina's father. So I can see them doing that. Like Tina's father was killed in the explosion that made Psychos. So
yeah.
Anyway, back to Saw 4 instead of
Yeah, but
something.
anyway, as much as I would love to sit here and talk about Borderlands with you, now that I know that you like it, and stuff, I'll have to send you all my Borderlands stuff that I have.
Yeah,
Saw 4, yeah, Saw 4
Saw
also
4.
making some pretty wild choices with this movie.
Yeah,
What do you
one of the
say?
weirdest choices getting into acting and characters. Scott Patterson from Gilmore Girls is in this.
Wait, who is that?
He's a Detective Strom.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
Strom is like so off the wall. I can't even deal with his shit. He's so crazy.
Yeah.
Scott Patterson
Yeah,
from
that's Luke from Gilmore Girls, the love interest of Lorelai Gilmore.
Oh, I see him now. And he's like, it looks like he's gained a little weight, or he's either gained weight or he like became like a bodybuilder. He looks
Hmm.
huge.
He
He
does a
needs
lot
muscles.
of
It's muscles.
yeah, he's done a few Lifetime movies where he's like the kidnapper, so I could see him bulking up for those roles.
Ooh, okay.
Um so anyway, for me, that's the only like notable person in this cast that or newcomer to this cast that actually has like recognizability
Yeah.
is the third lead of Gilmore Girls, fourth lead,
Yeah.
I guess. And then Wahlberg, not Mark, the other one,
Yeah, the
not Marky
forgotten
Mark.
son,
Yeah,
Donnie
not Mark,
Wahlberg.
the Donnie Wahlberg, New Kids on the Block. He returns kind of. You honestly, they could have recast him and I wouldn't fucking know.
I wouldn't even care, man.
Like I didn't even recognize him as Eric Matthews.
I know, right? They're like, oh yeah, he's alive still. I mean, I don't know why he's alive, but like, haha, he
Like
is.
what a like
Right.
terrible character, like return of your character, right? Like
I
you
know.
don't get any lines and no one's actually going to recognize you as Detective Matthews.
Yeah, you stand on an ice cube the
Mhm.
whole time and you just say, "Who's coming through the door?" And then that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
And
exciting
then
stuff.
we have Mark Hoffman as like a main character now. He had like a 30-second appearance in Saw 3, but now he's the next Jigsaw and he is quote unquote trapped in the room with Eric Matthews.
He had you going, didn't he? Wait, Sam, so since this is the first time you're seeing this, did you already know that like Hoffman was bad?
Yeah, I know because he had that cameo at the end of Saw 10. So like
Oh,
even
damn
though
it.
I didn't know who Mark Hoffman was,
Oh,
I was like,
same.
you know what? I feel like this moment is impactful for Saw fans. I'm happy for that.
Yeah, because if you didn't know, you'd be like, oh my goodness, Hoffman is in on it. Oh, he's the other person that they're looking for. I can't believe it. Of course,
Yeah,
he's
and
just fucking huge. So
I'm
sad.
wondering if that would have been mind-blowing like even in 2008 when this movie came out because like Hoffman didn't really have a role in Saw 3.
Yeah, I forgot about
Um
him. And after like however many years you wait between the movies, it's easy to
mhm.
forget, you know?
So anyway, since there's no like new memorable actors joining the franchise in this movie, let's go ahead and move on to story and writing. Out of the four we've watched, this is the worst one. It's not good.
Yeah, it's you know what, it's really funny that you say that because I was watching it not yesterday but Wednesday, and Luke came home and he watched the end with me, and then he was sitting there like about rig and how his test is like about like like taking his time, and Luke was like, how is he supposed to know to do that? Did you think that the whole time you were watching it? You're like, how the fuck is he supposed to know what any of this shit means or what he's
Hmm.
supposed to be doing and how to keep all these dudes alive? Like, I wouldn't know what the fuck
Yeah.
to do.
No, I completely agree with Luke. I was very confused with his test the whole time because I guess did they
Yeah.
start in his apartment
They
or
did. They started
okay.
there and then they went to like the gross hotel and then they went to school, or like vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was super all over the place. And then on top of that, you have what the detectives are doing, which I guess the twist that we're not supposed to realize, and I didn't really see it coming, and again, it was a blink and a miss it pointless moment,
Yeah.
is the detectives aren't following Rig, they're following Jeff, because Rig and Jeff's
Yes.
tests are happening at the same time,
Same time.
technically.
And how the fuck are we supposed to know that?
I know, like, I was like, wait, what? What is happening?
Yeah, right? It's because in the beginning of the movie we have Jigsaw's autopsy, so we're like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
okay, so it's after that, and it's like, no, ha ha ha, we're going back again because you don't know what's going on, viewer. So it's like real confusing.
Yeah. So Strom ends up killing Jeff at the end in a
Yeah,
in an instant,
good.
like immediately. Jeff doesn't even get a word out. Then
I
Strom
know.
kills him. So I guess we're never gonna find out what happens with Jeff's daughter.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if like we ever get there, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that like she's fine.
And let me explain, and I can't, Amazon is gaslighting me right now.
Okay.
A huge contribution to my confusion watching this movie
Yeah.
was the summary on Amazon on the TV was Jeff is racing against the clock to save his daughter, or something like that. It was about Jeff doing a series of tests to get to his daughter before time runs out.
Yeah.
And now in every other instance, I cannot find that summary. So I went into this movie thinking, oh, it's going to pick up right where Saw 3 left off. Jeff's going
Yeah.
to do some shit. He might save his daughter. Imagine my surprise when none of that happens.
Yeah, imagine here's the Sam surprise, and it's like, okay, well, there's Jigsaw's dead body. We're gonna do the autopsy now, and then we're gonna fast forward to the tape that's played, and then we're gonna go back to Rig, and you're like, who the fuck's this guy? Yeah, I hear you.
So
Yeah.
we're following Rick through his series of tests, and like after every test, it seems like the detectives come and see the aftermath of that test. And the tests are all right. There's that drug addict who had a test to kill Rig.
Oh yeah, the woman with her
Yeah,
hair and the thing. Yeah.
that was fun. The one who got scalped. The
Yeah.
teachers, that was fun.
You mean the ones with the rods?
Yeah.
So the one guy was a lawyer, but I think the other guy was his wife, but they're in the school that their daughter went to. So they're not
Hmm.
teachers. I know it's been a week, but not teachers, just randos.
Oh,
Yeah, the one was a lawyer that like Rig just like beat on because he was touching little girls or whatever. But it was his daughter. I don't know. It's all fucked up. But yeah, isn't that confusing? They're just in a
yeah,
classroom for no reason.
yeah. Um,
Yeah. What
oh, the
else?
big plot. So
Yeah.
all of the fucking Rig stuff is messy and I don't like it.
Right.
The big component is more to Jigsaw's backstory. What makes John Kramer Jigsaw? What made him Jigsaw?
Right.
Because
Yes.
in 3 we got the hint that he did have a smoke show of a wife and was very happy.
Yes.
Um, well, we find out that that was the case. However, when she was pregnant and pretty far along in her pregnancy, like the belly they put on her was like 7 months or 8 months.
7 months. Yeah.
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 Um,
Because he says 7 months and he takes her to the hospital.
yes. Is he's waiting to pick her up from where she works, like a drug clinic or something.
Yeah.
And it got one of the patients comes in saying he forgot his jacket, but really he's there to rob the place. The alarm goes off when he runs out to get out before the cops come. He slams the door open and the handle goes into her stomach, killing the baby. And of
It,
course,
yeah.
of course, this affects the man in the relationship much deeper than
Of course, after this, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna kill everybody, but
yeah.
it's gonna be their fault they die.
Basically.
Jill's like, I'm fine.
And it's weird. If I had a nickel for every time I've seen this happen in a movie,
Yeah.
I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's funny that it's happened twice.
Yeah.
Regal and now AMC does Monday mystery movies where you pay like $5 to go see uh an unreleased movie and you don't know what it's going to be. So I
Yeah.
went to see one, and it was Next Goal Wins, which was a Taika Waititi movie that I did not enjoy. It wasn't great.
Soccer?
Uh it was about the Samoan soccer team,
Oh, cool.
like the worst soccer team in the world, and it had the
Uh,
potential to be funny, but it was just
yeah.
it fell very flat. But
Same.
the fucking the fucking main character played by Michael Fassbender, and he's part of the problem. He's not a funny actor. His comedic delivery does not exist.
He's
Um,
too British.
yeah, but his character is depressed and he's an alcoholic because his daughter died in a car accident. But we also have his ex-wife in the movie who tells him, "Yeah, I'm always going to be sad, but I've got to move on with my life." It's like,
Yeah.
why why am I getting these two movies where like the mother is less affected by the death of a child than the
Right.
husband?
Yeah.
Especially in the case of like John Kramer and Jill Kramer, where she was pregnant. She actively lost a pregnancy, a very far along pregnancy,
Yeah. Very
and
far along, dude.
and she's the one telling John to get over it. Much more
Yeah.
compelling would be finding out Jill Tuck was behind the thing the whole time.
Right. Right.
It's
Yeah.
just an interesting choice. I'm not
It
saying
is
fathers
interesting.
can't grieve as much, but it's always how it's written where the mother is grieving less than the father.
Yeah,
Always
that's a
seems
really good point.
seems like a really weird like plot choice to
Yeah,
me.
I hadn't even like really thought that. But
But
yeah, that happens. He loses his unborn son.
mhm.
It's carefully planned. Then he got cancer, and then he like really he after the cancer diagnosis, he couldn't like deal with that, and so he tried to kill himself, although he wasn't that sick yet. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
so like, come on, Jigsaw. Come on, John Kramer.
Get your shit together, man.
I know, and then he's so crazy that Jill's like, "Well, if you're gonna be so crazy, I'm gonna have to divorce you, man. Like,
Mhm.
sorry." And he's like, "Oh no, not another thing." Like, dude,
And
it's
then
your own
he
fault.
goes to Mexico and gets conned out of
Oh,
$10,000.
I know, and I'm like, my dude. And then
Cut.
there's that one scene where like his wife and then his lawyer come in and they're like, "Hey John, like, let's get back on our project. All these people are really excited. They need you for this location." He's like, "No, get the fuck out of here." And I'm like, "Dude, just go back to work."
Yeah.
Like, Jesus. At every turn to move on, you just don't do it. Like,
Yeah.
damn.
So anyway, John
Oh,
Kramer's just having like the worst
just
year
the
of his
worst.
life.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we learn about all of that in this movie, and I think that's the most like significant part of Saw 4 is learning
That's
what
the
makes
best, yeah.
Jigsaw.
Yeah.
And of course they think that Jill is in on it, and she's like, nah, at
She's like,
least for
"No,
now.
it's thick of you."
At least for now, we've still got like
Yeah, you don't know,
20 movies
Sam.
to go.
You do have 20 more movies to go, but you saw the last one, but it's the
Yeah.
pre-sequel, like you said. So yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, what else?
Yeah, so Rig goes through his tests and the clock's ticking as Hoffman and Eric Matthews are trapped, and Rig shows up and Eric Matthews gets his one line of the movie, "Don't open the door."
Yeah.
And then Detective Matthews opens not Matthews, Rig opens the door and it triggers the clappy thing to clap two big blocks of ice on Eric Matthews' head.
What the heck? That I find that very bizarre because I'm like, oh, there's ice. He's standing on an ice cube,
Hmm.
but like it's almost like they couldn't think of what else to do.
Yeah.
So like, oh yeah, let's put ice in the ceiling too.
So
Obviously,
the
yeah.
logistics of this are really dumb. Hoffman has to like keep a constant temperature in that room to
Mhm.
make sure that the ice will always melt
Yeah,
at an even rate. Sorry, Trixie's getting in trouble, and I hear David yelling at her.
it's okay. Yeah,
Anyway, so he has to keep the room at a constant temperature, and he has to measure the rate at which the ice melts, because like if it melts faster than he thinks within like the hour it takes Rig to get there, the it's not gonna work. It's just gonna like
yeah.
not be. I know.
Exactly.
Like ice is a weird choice because ice melts and you can't really tell how much it's gonna melt in a certain amount of
Right.
time, and like
Yeah,
just not be there by the time Rig gets there, and it's not a big deal. He just gets bonked on the head a little bit.
I know. Yeah, and it's he's standing on the ice for an hour and a half, and it's like I don't know. There's like two men near it. It probably melting because of their body heat, and his bare foot's on it,
Mm-hmm.
and he keeps sliding around on him. Like that's gonna melt it more. And yeah, he has to keep up the facade that like he'll be electrocuted. But later we find out I don't think it's plugged into the electricity.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't know that. We think he's gonna kill Hoffman. Keeps trying to jump off the ice cube, and then dude comes in the door and he shoots him because he's being stupid. Because he's like, "Oh, I'm scared." Like, what? Like, what? What is he gonna do? Like, chill.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking kills Rig.
Yeah, Rig dies, and
I think he
then
dies. Yeah, he got shot,
mhm.
and then Rig shot the Art Blank, the guy who's also getting tested with the thing on his back of his neck.
Yep.
There's just a lot going on. I'm just like, and I'm trying to. It's hard to keep track of why everyone's even there.
Yeah. And then Strom finds the guy he's been trailing, and it's not Rig, it's Jeff.
It's just Jeff.
And he shoots Jeff, no questions asked.
Damn.
Uh, and then Hoffman, who's already been revealed is the next Jigsaw, uh, comes and he's like, game over, and shuts the door. And
Yeah.
Strom is trapped inside.
And he closes, it turns the light off too. How terrible. That
Yep.
sucks.
Just like Amanda and Jigsaw before him.
Yes. So then he walks away and we're like, ooh, yeah, there goes Hoffman. He's the number 3 guy.
Yep.
And I'm trying to remember what happens in the next movie now.
Well, I guess we'll find out in 2 weeks.
Yeah, in 2 weeks. Let me see. 5.
I'm choosing not to trust any summaries I read online after this.
Yeah, don't read anymore.
Yeah.
But like I promise you, it's confusing.
Yeah.
It's really confusing. Um yeah. Yeah. But it's still fun. This is a longer one, actually. I thought it's like an hour and 40 minutes. I was like watching, I was like, damn, this is still not over. So much going on. But yeah, there's a lot, and we can't even. I feel like you did a good summary because like there's nothing else to really say because it would be like more confusing.
Mm-hmm.
But like number 3 and number 4 are happening at the same time somehow, and then Jigsaw's keeping track of Jigsaw's keeping track of the one thing, and I guess Hoffman's keeping track of the rig.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's like, go home, Rig, use your vacation time. So it's like Hoffman like made him go home. He enticed him with vacation time because he's his boss, which I like forgot he was his boss. He didn't act like his boss in 3
Mm-hmm.
when he was there briefly. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I wonder
Yeah.
I wonder if this was always the plan for Hoffman, because
Yeah.
Whannell wasn't planning on writing any more Saw films after 3. But he did set up the cassette if they continued to a 4th movie. So I wonder if Hoffman was always planned to be the successor,
Yeah.
since that wasn't revealed until this movie.
Mhm.
And 3 itself feels very final
Yeah. Very
in
final.
a lot of ways.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know, that
Yeah.
might be part of the messiness is, Whannell sets up things that could lead to a 4th movie, but then he doesn't come back. So the other writers just have to take, like, okay, so we've got this cassette,
Yeah.
but who's doing the traps now?
Yeah.
And
Exactly. Um, and I think another thing about 4 is that when it opens and closes with the autopsy room and then Hoffman listening to the tape, so now we kind of know that the tape is meant for Hoffman
Mhm.
because he calls him detective, or is it for him? I always just forget the details. There's a lot of details to keep track of the further in you get.
Mhm.
Um, but I feel like 4 is actually 5. and no, I mean 4 is 3 and the beginning of 4 and the end of 4 is 5.
Uh-huh. I'm just gonna nod along until I watch.
You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. 4 is 3 and 5. So, yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that.
So, production, not too much has changed in the quality of production. I did find this one to be a little more graphic,
Oh yeah.
than the previous one, which we're gonna probably see that happen as the sequels go on, is you gotta keep people interested in your movies. And for the Saw fans, that's gorier and messier traps.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah, I agree. Did you notice
The transitions, yes.
did you notice them now? Oh my
Yeah.
God, yeah, yeah. It only happened one time in 2, and then like it didn't happen. I don't know if it happened in 3 at all because there was like not a lot of moving around, but then I knew there was one that it just happened fucking constantly and it was weird.
Hmm.
It's like there it is. What is that about? What is that called? Just like a transition scene or whatever?
Yeah.
Maybe cool.
I don't know if there's a special name for the way they do it, where it just like it's a smooth transition.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't know if that's a smooth transition. I think that's
Yeah.
just
It's jarring.
it's it's a stylistic choice, and like
Yeah.
you do it once and you're like, oh, that's nice. And then you keep doing it and
Keep
it's like,
doing it. Different stuff. It's like,
okay.
oh, that his jacket turned into himself walking.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It stops
Slick.
being special.
Yeah. It's no longer slick. It's just like it's like a saw. I've never seen it in any other movie before or since.
Hmm. So
So
maybe that's just a
somebody
special
else.
signature of Bozeman.
Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah,
Maybe we
that's a
should
good.
look into what other movies Bozeman
Yeah, what's
does
Bozeman doing? But
to see if it's just like
Bozeman.
his thing.
Uh-huh. Yeah. There's another thing I wanted to say, and I don't know if this would be like a story note or if this is a production thing. And it's in regards to Jigsaw's age. And when they were doing the autopsy, do you remember what age they gave him?
I can't remember it. Jigsaw's
Dude,
age is
it
always
was like
weird.
54.
Yeah, that adds up.
The dude, I know, but like he looks like he's 70.
Hmm.
Like, because if he's 54, he looks very old for 54, but he looks like a good 64 or even 74. But like, no, this man was 54. But like way back in the day, in the flashbacks, was he like 40? His white hair for the whole time. I don't know. So I
Hmm.
just it's like, dang, they should have just made him a little bit older.
And then his wife is pretty young.
Very young, and then they did it and she was pregnant and like he was still old, like looking old, you know.
Hmm.
This was however many, I'm not sure how many years ago the flashbacks are. I want to say like maybe within 5 years,
Yeah.
or something like that, right? And then the only other time frame we have is there's a 6 month time frame from 2 to 3 because they said Eric Matthews has been missing for 6 months. So he's literally been on the block of ice for 6 months. Just kidding, not the block of ice, but like
Hmm.
holding, they're like have him prisoner. But like for what reason? I don't know why they're keeping him alive.
Yeah.
It's annoying. He just dies anyway, but
Yeah, it seems
yeah,
like
yeah, not a big deal.
it like
Yeah. There's like no point in all of it.
yeah, I'm trying to that's exactly it. There's no point in it being Eric Matthews or
Yeah.
even hinting that he's alive in the previous movie because it doesn't do anything in the end.
I know, right? And even having the lawyer Art Blank being like a victim because he just so happened to be Jigsaw's like lawyer for his like work before, but like that doesn't matter. Jigsaw's dead now. So like why are you dragging him back into all this? Like he didn't do anything wrong. So it's like
Hmm. Yeah, it's just
I don't know. I don't know why.
this movie is a bunch
Mm,
of weird choices
I know.
stacked on top of each other. And skimming the production portion of Wikipedia, the
Yeah.
new screenwriters wanted to do another trilogy. So confirmed by theory that the first three are supposed to kind of be a standalone trilogy. And then the
Mhm.
next three are also a trilogy, kind of like how there's Scream 1 through 3, and then what was supposed to be Scream 5 through 7, RIP. Uh,
Yep. And then four.
yeah. Is you have two different trilogies that connect in this bigger universe. And I think they tried a little too hard to directly connect it to the third movie. And maybe that was for budget purposes, since they could just reuse the sets from the third movie.
Yeah, good point.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it just ended up in a very messy timeline.
Yeah.
And
Everybody died again,
yeah.
like in three.
Hmm.
Shit. But yeah, saying that like what 4, 5, and 6 are a trilogy, you'll be able to tell, Sam, because they are
Yeah.
very similar in how they look. And then 4, 5, and 6, and what's after 6? It's Saw 3D, because that's a friggin' outlier.
It's going to be Saw 3D because whatever is supposed to be the quote unquote final film. So it's
Uh-huh.
probably 6. I feel like 6 is Saw 3D.
Yeah, Saw 6.
And then there's Jigsaw.
Jigsaw. Yes. Yes,
And-
there's Jigsaw. And then, wait, hang on. Saw movies in order. I'm a huge horror fan, guys. Yeah, Saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 6 is just it's there, and then Saw 3 is after
Okay.
that. That's
Okay.
7 it.
Okay. So there is a Saw 7 because I was trying to
Yeah.
figure out, okay, then how did we get to 10? So then there's Jigsaw, then there's
Jigsaw.
Spiral.
Then there's Spiral, and then there's 10.
Okay. So they are making Spiral Saw 9.
Yep, it seems I wasn't sure if they were, but I guess it's
I guess
canon.
they have to if they titled Saw 10 Saw 10.
Yeah, like shit, they're gonna have to and be like, oh, let's just bring it all together and just do the cool X.
Which
And
I am excited to get to Spiral because
it's
I
not
was
bad.
very intrigued by it. I just never got around to seeing it.
Hey, I thought it was pretty good.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put it out there, Sam. It's not a bad movie like that.
Yeah.
This one might be fucking worse because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Like I was intrigued by Spiral just because the trailer gave me 7 vibes and I really like 7.
Ooh, you know what? You're gonna love Chris Rock, his character.
Ooh. That was another thing
He's
that intrigued me is Chris
damn
Rock in a
good.
serious role.
Yeah, he's serious, but like sometimes his seriousness can be funny. So he does really well. He's a great actor. And it's nice to have like, a black person as the main character. It really changes things up.
Yeah.
Because Rig dies, dude from one insane, and then dies.
You're
Whatever his name
right.
is.
So far out of
Right?
4
Yeah.
movies,
They're dead.
yeah, like the quote unquote hero of the first Saw
Yeah.
movie was just like a crazy guy.
Yeah,
Even
crazy
he was
old
black.
Danny Glover.
Yeah,
Yeah,
prominent
Tap.
black actor who just
Uh-huh.
was crazy. And did he die? Did he?
Yes,
Yes, he did die.
he did die. He died by, I think he was fighting with Zepp on the floor, and then Zepp shot him in the
Okay.
stomach, and then he ran away,
Yeah.
and then Zepp died later.
And then
By throat
Rig.
slit. Rig died because he got
Rig
shot
is
by stupid
yeah.
Donnie Wahlberg being an idiot.
Rig is a very underdeveloped character, and then he dies.
Why did they give Eric the gun? Like, do you know what? Like, I can't figure out why all these things, like, why did he have to wait before going through? Like, why do they want him to take his time? And then
I
also,
don't
like,
know.
not save her. She just, like, let people not be, like, what is that going on?
I don't know what's going on in this.
I
Isn't
know.
isn't Sam Jackson also in Spiral, or did I make
Yeah.
that up? Okay.
No, he is it. He is
Okay.
in it. He's Chris Rock's dad.
Oh, ooh. Ooh. I'm very
Hell yeah,
excited now.
of course. Yeah, and then that guy from there's another horror guy in it. Hang on. Max Minghella. Uh
Angela.
he is
That name sounds familiar.
he's in I know him the most from The Handmaid's Tale.
Okay.
He's
Oh,
like
Nick.
her like
Yeah.
boy toy.
Nick, yeah, that
Yeah,
guy who
Nick.
who I listen, I stopped watching Handmaid's Tale.
Dude, me too. I just kind of was like, oh, you know what? This is not really interesting anymore to me.
Yeah.
She's I'm sick of her. We talked about this at length before, I think.
Yeah. Just kind of
Yeah.
it's gone on too long. Conclude the series, do the testaments, we're done.
I know.
Anyway,
Please.
real horror aspects of this.
Oh
Not
God.
using your time wisely.
Right, not, but yeah, being given a set of directions and really not knowing like what the fuck you're supposed to do, so you just do what you know is right, which is try to like save the people that are in a trap.
Hmm. Which is
Except for
what
the
you should
pet
do
paladin.
if
Yeah,
you're a police officer. Like, so I
right.
feel like police officers, any public service
Hmm.
servants, like police officers, firemen, and
Yeah.
nurses, doctors, EMTs, I
Uh-huh.
think they have an oath they have to take where if they see someone in danger, they have to step in. Like,
Do no
um,
harm.
if
Yeah.
a nurse is the first one to, if a nurse, I think in general, is at the scene of like a car accident, she has to step out and she or he has to step out and offer assistance.
Yeah.
Because I think that's part of the oath they have to take as public servants.
Yeah.
Um, so like Rig is doing what he is supposed to do
Just doing his
as a
job.
police officer. He sees people in a trap about to die. Sorry, that's a problem.
Yeah, but apparently he's like going too fast. But if he like doesn't go fast enough, they like will die. It's like, what do you want? And then
Mhm.
also trying to say he shouldn't go through the door in the allotted amount of time with like the timer counting down. Like obviously our instinct is gonna say try to get to the end before time runs out.
Mhm.
Uh so how is he supposed to know any of that? And his
Exactly.
clues were so vague and nothing made sense. Art
Mhm.
Blank's neck thing didn't make, I don't know why he was in a trap too.
Mhm.
I don't know why
It's
he
like
gave Eric Hoffman the gun.
it's like
So stupid.
it's
I don't
Amanda
know.
makes traps that are unwinnable. Mark
Uh-huh.
Hoffman makes traps designed to kill.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
so Jigsaw picked the worst people to carry on his legacy.
I know. Like if this is Hoffman's, this whole thing was Hoffman's trap, like it really is confusing to me. Like it's almost like he didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
It sounds like he just didn't like Rig.
Yeah, but like, I know, right? He's like, no, I gotta kill. He wanted to kill the original three, so
Hmm.
like nobody knows
Yeah.
him anymore. So, but now Strom is like alive and saw him, you know.
Hmm.
So that's a problem.
Yeah. Not using
Uh,
your time wisely.
yeah,
That's pretty scary.
that could be scary.
Not understanding your assignment. That's also scary.
Not using your time wisely, not understanding the assignment, not following the rules. Um, and let's see, there is, I guess the people that were in traps. So like, I don't know what the girl with the blonde hair did wrong. I guess like being a hustler or whatever, but uh, the working in a clinic with people who are addicts and then having one like act out and put you in danger, but you're pregnant also, so your unborn child's in danger.
Hmm.
It could be a problem. Having like miscarriage because of like external like issues that cause that. Um, let's see, being a person in power like that lawyer guy, but also being like a child molester, that's a problem.
Hmm.
That's the guy who is like a rapist, you know, but he's
Hmm.
still working at a hotel where he has access to rooms and women, so that is a problem too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going having, yeah, losing a child. That's
Having your husband like lose his
yeah.
mind.
Yeah, having your right, having him lose his mind and then him like actually start to like build stuff to hurt people, and you're just like, dude, what is wrong with you? And he's like, nothing's wrong, just go away. And it's like, shit,
And
okay.
even after you divorce him, you're still dealing with his bullshit.
Yeah, even after he's dead too, you're just like, oh god, here we go again with the cops. Thanks, John.
Hmm.
Damn. What else? uh, who else is there? Rig. Oh yeah, Rig working too much, and apparently that was a problem for everybody because he didn't finish his apartment kitchen renovation and is never home with his wife. And nobody likes that. I think yeah, that's everything. I don't know. I don't know what Art Blank did wrong. Oh dude, he killed that guy in the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Being stuck in a trap for like literally no reason at
Uh-huh.
all. Like no reason. Like there's no, like I know that in one Jigsaw would give like stupid little like reasons like, oh yeah, you smoke cigarettes, well I'm gonna make you catch on fire. It's like, okay, well like smoking, yeah, that's a vice, but like I don't know that none of these people did anything wrong. There is no like nothing really that connected them. I mean, like they were connected, but like it just didn't, it was too broken up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything else.
Yeah, that's all I've got.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess, being trapped in a closet with dwindling oxygen and everybody's forgotten about you.
Oh my God, yeah. Because there's too much stuff going on at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how can they remember?
That poor little girl.
But you know what, Sam? There is a detail, and I do not know if it has anything to do with the girl, but in the beginning, Hoffman is talking to the FBI agents, and he's talking to the girl, Perez, and she's like, he's holding a toy, and she says, oh, boy or girl, and he says, girl. And she's like, oh, I didn't know you had kids, and he said, I don't. It's a short story, and then he like leaves. So
Oh,
I don't know if he was bringing her like a little toy and she's fine. You know what I mean? So,
that's some hot tea.
uh-huh. That's the only detail I remember of them talking about a girl and him holding like I guess that's what he had in his arm. I couldn't tell. But damn. And then one other thing is Mark Hoffman looks the best in this movie. He
Mm-hmm.
looks so good. He starts to look more ragged as we go on. And he's one of the, I don't know if you follow him on Instagram at all.
Mm-mm.
But if you follow him on Instagram, he's one of those actors that like has no idea how to do social media, like a boomer
Yeah,
almost.
that adds up.
He's trouble, but we're happy he's on Instagram regardless. So
Yeah. Uh, so
yeah.
as a first-time viewer of Saw 4, my ranking of this is I'll be charitable and give it a meh.
Oh, okay, good.
Even though I do feel like, what the fuck did I just watch? I'll be charitable and give it a meh.
Yeah, be charitable. There were still traps. There's still a twist ending because Mark Hoffman, I feel like that's a pretty big twist if you like don't already
Yeah.
know it's coming.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, that's crazy. I'll of course give it an all. Yeah, that fucked me up because I'm just gonna give them all that. Um, but it's nice to hear you, Sam, give that rating because this is the first time you're watching this, so
Yeah.
it's great. All right, well that's all I got for that. Are we ready to wrap her up?
Let's wrap it up.
All right, let's wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in to our episode. We are the Real Horror Show podcast. Our host is Sam Odie, and I'm the co-host, Stormy Skies. The podcast was created by Sam Odie and Stormy Skies and is directed, edited, and produced by Sam Odie. You can find Sam on Instagram at Sam is Writing Stuff. And you can find Stormy on Instagram at The Stormy Skies. You can find the Real Horror Show podcast on Spotify, TuneIn, iTunes, Google Play Store, Pandora, and anywhere you like to stream your podcasts. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you're always in the know when a new episode comes out. Follow us on social media. You can find the Real Horror Show podcast on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, and yes, Twitter too. We do more than just podcast. We love to write, and we have plenty of great movie reviews and essays, all of which can be found on our website, realhorrorshow.com. We love hearing from our listeners. You can ask us a question or send us a movie request to review by DMing us on social media, or you can even send us an email at realhorrorshowpodcast@gmail.com. Call for guests. Do you love horror movies? Are you a podcaster, a content creator, a movie lover, or anyone in between who is a listener to our show? We would love to have you as a guest on one of our episodes. Reach out to us via social media DM or email us at realhorrorshowpodcast@gmail.com. Our podcast episodes featuring guests are all listed on our website, realhorrorshow.com. We are so thankful for all of our listeners. You are the life force of our podcast, and we wouldn't really exist without you. Thank you all for making this podcast real and supporting us as we record every week. You can support us in different ways, such as liking and sharing our podcast episodes on social media. Giving us a review will help the podcast more than you know, and will help other listeners find it too. You can also donate to Real Horror Show by visiting our support page on our website, where you can make a one-time donation via PayPal, buy us a coffee with the Buy Us a Coffee button, or explore our very interesting Amazon wish list. And is there any other pertinent news?
Not right now.
All right, now, guys, it's March and it will be St. Patrick's Day soon.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, well, cool. In the meantime, please go ahead and watch episode 5 of House of Usher.
Yeah, 5.
5, yeah. All right, great.
Saw 5, episode 5. I think that's right.
Yep, you're absolutely right. And so, other than that, our outro song is called Creepy Doll by Jonathan Colton, and it can be found at jonathancolton.com. Thank you, fuck off, and have a swell evening. This is Real Horror Show signing off.
Bye.
Bye bye.